Hey family. So I am back with a completely different energy from the last live I made, which was a few hours ago. This will be completely different energy, but it's just fucking time to share it, so I'm gonna share it. I was just watching a live that my sister Kayla Lightbeams made. Um, I just watched it a while ago, sharing her experience with a very weird experience she had with psychedelics. And I went out with my dog, and I just remembered all of these things, and I felt called to share a story that kind of relates to the video that I watched my sister sharing. So I'm like a little hesitant to share about this, and I will explain why. I will explain why towards the video. I have a lot actually of resistance sharing this because, yes, I will explain this later, but just gathering like the balls and the courage to speak up and just share without attachment or whatever. So last year, I went to Hawaii with my partner for a retreat. So much resistance sharing this, but it's okay. So I went to this retreat, and everyone was getting these massages from this person. And so I also received a massage, and I actually paid double to have like a bigger massage, like for an hour instead of just 30 minutes. And one thing that I haven't really talked about in here too much is that I used to smoke a lot of weed. And I think this is the first time of me sharing this here, so that's nice. And oh, I just realized that, yeah, because I stopped smoking weed. Um, I have smoked like sometimes tobacco with some CBD oil, but not like THC weed since my birthday this year. So this is all that I'm sharing here, all these stories are all connected into one story. So last year I had this massage at this retreat, and I smoked some weed that everyone was smoking. And I don't know why, but the weed that they smoked there had a very different effect on me than the weed that I used to smoke here. So I was feeling a little bit paranoid sometimes, and like I felt weird, like paranoid, and like I didn't feel so good. I felt just fucking weird. Um, so I smoked a little, and then I went to have this massage with this person. And everyone loved the massage. Everyone at the retreat said they loved the massage. Even my partner said, "Oh, the massage is very different. Maybe you will find it weird, but it's really amazing." So like, of course, at the time I trusted that everyone else around me had a good experience, so there I went. So while I was having this massage, I was feeling weird already from the weed. But then this person that was massaging me kept asking me to give them my energy. And I was like, but I'm supposed to be receiving a massage. I'm not supposed to be giving you anything. Like, I gave you money. I'm not supposed to give you energy for you to give me a massage. So this person started, like, I'm very sensitive to energy, and I've always been. And I've been in tantra ceremonies and retreats and all of this. So I'm aware of tantric energy exchange and just energy in general. So this person kept asking me to make noises while I was being massaged. And I was like, but that doesn't feel natural for me. I don't feel genuinely the need or the will to make any noise. I just want to kind of relax and enjoy and surrender and receive. And this person kept insisting so much that I had to make noises. And that made me super uncomfortable because I was like, but I'm telling you that that's not coming natural for me. If it was natural, then yeah, I could make noises, but it was not natural, so I cannot force making noises just so you feel satisfied or whatever you want to feel about it, you know? And this person just showed like discomfort and also irritability because I didn't want to make noises. And then like during the massage it just got weirder and weirder and more uncomfortable energetically and also physically. When he, like, his type of massage was very different. It was not just with the hands, it was with his whole body. But then he wanted me to also move my body and like massage him, you know, like, and exchange energy with him. And a part of me thought that I would never share this story with anyone, and a part of me always wanted to share. This was one of the most awkward moments in my life. Most awkward, not even awkward, just uncomfortable and creepy and weird. So it got to a point where it got so bad that I just kind of started meditating, and I just called my guides, my team, and I was like, I need help. I need help. I need to understand if am I being weird, or is this really happening, and is this actually weird and not okay? Am I being paranoid, or is there truly something wrong here? It's just that, is it me that I'm not connected with my sensuality or whatever, or is there actually something wrong going on here? So I called my team and I was like, if there's really something wrong and I'm not crazy, then I need help right now, right now, right now, right now. And like 10 to 15 seconds later, the person who was massaging me stopped. And I was like, fuck, it worked. And he just stopped. He was massaging like my back. And afterwards he was gonna start massaging my front body, and he kind of also wanted me to be as naked as I could be. And I was just like, I just can't do this anymore. And I was doubting my intuition and my body and my energy and everything, because like there were all of these amazing people at the retreat, including my partner, who had a massage with this person and said that it was amazing. So why the fuck is this happening to me? So I just felt, I don't even want to describe it more deeply than that. It was just very, very uncomfortable, and it felt very like I was being violated, you know, like sexually and energetically. And it was just disgusting and I don't know, it's I feel so uncomfortable even sharing about this, but yeah. For some reason I just felt like I had to fucking make this video, so here I fucking am. And I am all about being fully transparent and raw and real and truthful, always. So it's funny because I just made a video today that was completely different from what I'm sharing now, but this is also there and it also wanted to be shared and spoken, so here I am. So I went back to the room I was in where my partner was resting, and I just told him, my face was like, you could tell from a mile away that something was very wrong with me just by the look in my face. I was terrified and petrified and just almost paralyzed. I was like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck? I literally feel like I allowed myself to be violated because I didn't trust my intuition and I trusted the experience that everyone else told me they had and not myself. So that's crazy. So another crazy thing that happened is that I feel so much resistance in disclosing the whole thing because I never want to point fingers and I never want to make anyone look bad, like say bad things about someone to other people. I never want to do that. And that was my biggest trigger in sharing this message in this video that I'm sharing right now. Because I don't want to do that. It's just time for me to share this truth and also honor myself. Because I realized while I was walking my dog earlier that I had this energy that I've always wanted to protect the people who hurt me. Because, and this is connected with the video I just shared before, because I can see their perspective and I feel compassion for everyone. But sometimes that compassion and that seeing other people's perspectives has brought me into very awkward, uncomfortable, siphoning, and even violent situations where I allowed people to hurt me just because I felt so much compassion for them. And also not wanting to share the story with anyone else because I didn't want to point fingers or say bad things about other people or make anyone look bad. So I'm seeing all of these fucking patterns in my consciousness, and to be honest, like 95% of my being right now wants to hide and like delete this video. But I feel that I just need to share this. So, after the retreat, me and my partner actually stayed at this person's house. And on the day of my birthday, we ate some mushrooms that person had made, or I don't know if he made it or someone he just bought it, but I was in this person's house and I ate the mushrooms from that person and everything was kind of okay. I was feeling like I was a turtle and I was in the ocean and I was the ocean and all of these things. And after just a little while, I started feeling very weird and I started feeling something in my arm. Like my whole arm felt like it was not my own anymore. It was like I couldn't control it. It was not mine. And it felt so uncomfortable that I was feeling like I wanted to cut my arm off. Like that arm is not mine. This doesn't feel good. This is not okay. My arm is weird. So after a while, I saw a fucking. This is so uncomfortable to speak, family. I'm sorry if I am resisting this so much, but this is hard for me. I saw this gigantic, and when say gigantic, is like the diameter was bigger than this. It was huge, and the length was like meters and meters and meters and meters. And I saw this black worm coming out of my arm, and it was so big, and it kept coming out and out and out. And I remembered one time, again with the same story of doubting my own intuition and having so much compassion for others that I allowed them to hurt me. This worm that came out of my arm was when I was meditating with not friend of mine that I thought was my friend. I was in this I allowed myself to go into deep meditation with this other person. And while I was meditating, I felt like these beings, like gargoyles, eating me. And they were like biting me and taking bites of me. But I doubted myself and I stayed in the meditation, and my body would shake and go through all of these very uncomfortable things, and I felt like I was being eaten. And then I felt something enter my hands and just entering and resting on my sacral chakra, or whatever you want to call it, sacral chakra, whatever, in my spine, in the lower part of my spine. So when I was in Hawaii, in this other person's house on mushrooms, I saw that worm that came out of my arm was connected to that experience that I had with this other person. And then I was like, for the rest of the mushroom trip, I was just vomiting energetically. And again, as I said before, I am very aware of energy, even if I doubt even if I have doubted my intuition, I am aware and I can see a lot of things. So I started for the rest of the night vomiting and purging black worms through my mouth, like slugs, from my mouth. Of course, not physically, but I could see them. I could see so clearly. I was just vomiting, and I would literally do like, and be like that, And I could feel like it coming out, and I could feel everything, And then I started looking around to this person's house, and I could see this person had a lot of how do you call it, masks. That's fucking interesting. Masks that they got in I don't know, yard sales, or I don't know the name, that they got from all of these different countries and all of these different religions and whatevers. And I could see entities in almost every object in this person's home. And I could feel how all the objects were just looking at me and my partner, waiting for us to be distracted or whatever to come siphon our energies. Whew, this is so intense, you guys. So then, like, we were both alone in his house, and then he arrived with someone else, and they were like, they were like having sex, and as soon as they entered, I could feel their energy. And the woman that was with him, do you know Ursula from The Little Mermaid, the octopus lady thingy? She looked like that. And like, as she walked, I could see her tentacles everywhere. And she, like, I could see her very fat and with lots of tentacles, and all of these parasites would flow and come to her as she walked. And I was like, what the fuck? Am I crazy? It's just like, am I like, I've connected with mushrooms before, but I've never had an experience at all like this, you know? And this was the first time that I was like, am I crazy? Is this one of those situations where people, I ate mushrooms and I'm fucking crazy out of my mind? Is this really fucking happening? Am I really seeing this? Like, what the fuck? And at that point, I just started seeing worms and parasites and slugs, black slugs everywhere, and they wouldn't stop floating and coming to me and my partner. And at that time, we tried to leave the house, but it was the middle of the night. And again, it was my fucking birthday. And we tried to call someone else from the retreat, but this person said she couldn't help us. She said she couldn't help us, and we also felt a very weird energy from her, like she was also kind of related to that kind of energy that we were experiencing. So we were like, fuck, okay. So we didn't have that much money, so we didn't know what to do, because at this point we packed our bags and we went outside. But then we're like, what the fuck are we I just hugged the tree and I was like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Is this really happening? Am I just crazy? Or am I really seeing these things? So yes, that was like the only time that I had a very weird experience while I was communing with plant medicine. And we ended up staying in this person's home because we didn't have enough money, and we were in this belief that because we don't have money we can't go anywhere, even though like I've experienced many times in my life not having money, not knowing what to do, and just trusting the universe or life or whatever you want to call it, and everything being delivered and all the synchronicities and the magic start happening. But yeah, another thing that I want to share about this whole story, which is very weird, is that I found in all of these things, seeing these slugs, I found a trick to make them not come for me. Because like when I could like put a shield around me and my partner, but they would still try to enter the shield. And I had to kind of focus so the shield would stay there. But then I found this trick, which was when I realized, okay, that's just what you are. Like, okay, you are, and I also learned that these things go in the, oh, what is the name in English? Sewers? Is that the name? Like, where you have on your bathtub or on the thing where you wash the dishes, and there is this thing where the water goes down. And I realized and I learned that those things usually live there in those dirty spaces and tubes, you know? So, yeah. But the trick that I found was that when I accepted that, okay, you are a parasitic energy, you are a parasite, you are a worm, I see you. And I'm not going to try to run away from you. I'm not going to try to hurt you. I'm not going to try to kill you or hurt you or whatever in order to define myself. So I accepted that. I accepted the truth of that being, which is it's a slug, it's a worm, it's a parasitic energy, it's a parasite. And okay, I see you and I honor you. I will not try to change you or to hurt you. I see you and I love you. And as soon as I accepted the energy for what it was and I loved it, all the worms started dispersing and going away and just returning back to the sewers inside the earth. And that was very interesting and enlightening because I was trying to fight them, I was trying to fight them so much. And how can I protect myself and how can I protect my partner and all of these things. But once I accepted that this is a parasitical energy and I don't want to hurt you, I see you as you are. But then I had this trigger that I didn't want them to go away and then go siphon someone else's energy, But as soon as I just accepted it for what it was and I said, okay, I see you, I love you, I'm not going to try to change you or hurt you, they left me alone. So that's very interesting. There's also another story that wants to come through in this video, in this message, and this one I have so much fucking resistance. You guys, truly, I am here for truth. I am here to be honest. I am here to be transparent. I am here to be raw. And if that means that sometimes I have to disclose these very uncomfortable stories, then fucking just be it. Because my intention is never to point fingers, is never to hurt anyone, is never to judge anyone. And that's why I attracted these things to me. Because of my ability to perceive things from the other person's perspective and my compassion towards every being exactly as they are. And maybe you can relate to this because I've suffered quite a lot because of this. And that's also why I have so much resistance sharing this, but it's okay. So the other story that's also connected with this one, because the reasons and patterns and triggers are kind of the same. Oh my god, so much resistance, you guys. It's okay. It's okay. This is so fucking hard. This is one of the hardest things I've ever shared. Or maybe the hardest, but it's okay. It's okay. And I also feel like it's like also honoring me and respecting myself and respecting my story and having compassion towards me instead of just having compassion for everyone else. So, okay, here it goes. This is so weird, you guys, but I know this is happening for many reasons for me, but I also am aware that maybe this will help some of you that watch this. Maybe you can relate and maybe this will help you or assist you in any way. So yes, I'm doing this for all of us with respect to everyone involved, even like the people who hurt me, with respect to everyone. So, oh my god, okay. So, you guys, you probably had no idea of this, but I. Oh my god, it's so hard. And I just want to honor everyone who has ever been in a similar situation and has gone through a similar story. And again, I don't share this as a victim. I not at all. That's not the energy that I'm feeling right now. And I don't want to point fingers, and I don't want to judge. And I don't have any bad intentions toward these people. But I just realized, like, just a few minutes ago, in the moment that I said it, I realized that sometimes it has been easier for me to feel compassion for others rather than for myself. So I used to date someone who started being violent with me. And this was someone that I loved really deeply. This was someone that I thought and felt that I had a very unique, special connection with. A relationship that kind of defined, was different from everything else. There were a lot of beautiful things, but a lot of very bad things, weird things, unaligned things. So, yes, this person started being violent towards me and hitting me, and I kept forgiving this person. And the first time she hit me was with I don't know the name, a wooden thingy, like, you know those things that people do like this. It's like a stick and two things, and you do like this or you do like this, like a big, like a broomstick. Yes. And the first time it was like with a broomstick, and there were other people here in my house and they saw it, and I had a friend that helped me through it because, like, I had a huge fucking concoction in my head, and it was like a gray ball in my forehead, and I was just I don't even know the word. I was terrorized. I was terrorized, while at the same time really loving this person and wanting to understand what was going on inside of her for her to act like that. So this person hit me several times during our relationship, while we were alone, while others were watching in the middle of the street. Once there was an old lady who saw it, and the old lady just looked at me and said, "How can you let someone do that to you? Why don't you hit her back?" And I was like, "Because I don't hit people. I cannot hit someone, like, but if they are hitting you, you just standing there. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm doing my fucking best. I'm doing my fucking best to try to understand this person. And I'm doing my best to, I don't know, I was doing my best, but I know that my truth was not to hit her back. That's just not my truth. Like, I just couldn't do that. That couldn't even go through my mind, you know. And this person also hurt me in many other ways, and our relationship was again very beautiful but also very, very dark at the same time. And the last time that she hurt me, um, she physically hit me. This time, like, I was just so sad and so, like, broken from all of it and from it going on for so long that I tried, like, she was like punching me, and this time, like, I just grabbed her wrists and I was like, what are you doing? Can we please talk? Can we please talk? What is happening? And I tried looking into her eyes, but her eyes would just flip out and she would just be out of it. And it's like, it was like she was not there anymore and I couldn't talk to her. It was something else, or, you know, I could not reach her heart. I tried to reach her heart, but it was like it was blocked or it was not there. And I tried to reach out to her and it didn't work. And then she punched me again and my glasses fell off. I just realized why also this is connected with the other story. So my glasses fell off and I felt my heart doing like this, you know, when I had this intuition, this feeling when my glasses fell, my heart went like this. And in a second, she grabbed the glasses and she said, I'm done with this illusion. And she did like this and like broke my glasses. And if you have seen my very first YouTube video, in that video I shared that I was for 2019, the whole year, I was a whole year without wearing my glasses, without wearing contact lenses, without wearing anything. So for one whole year, I couldn't see shit at all. For me, glasses are the biggest illusion, because for me it's the biggest illusion that I need like an external object to see. But like if I do like this, I can, like, my phone is super close to my face and I cannot see myself, you know. So yes. So I was for 1 year without seeing anything. And at the time I didn't have money to buy new glasses, and I couldn't tell my mom that my girlfriend broke my glasses, because my mom told me that having a girlfriend was a non-subject and that I could never ever speak about it again, and that my girlfriend was not welcomed into my family, but that I would still be welcome in dinners and all of that. And I heard my mom tell me that and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? My mom told me like, oh, you're still welcome to come to dinners and to be with us. Like, because I had a girlfriend, because I was in love with a girl, you know. And that was like another whole thing that my girlfriend made me. She made me go tell my mom on Christmas Day after midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning. She made me, after we returned home from Christmas, she made me go back to my mom and tell my mom that we were actually girlfriends instead of just friends. And my mom had this reaction, which I was afraid what reaction she would have, because she put me in a Catholic school for all my life. Um, but yes, so yes. So for one whole year, I was without glasses. And the reason why also this is tied to the connected with the story I was just sharing in Hawaii, is because the first time I wore my glasses again, like I went to a glass shop. I don't know the name, like where you sell glasses. And I went there and I asked them if they could glue my glasses. So they were like all funky and like, but they glued them in like two or three different places, and I was able to at least like use them even if they were like all crazy. And I asked them so I could go to Hawaii and freaking see the freaking leaves and freaking nature. I didn't want to go to freaking Hawaii and not being able to see shit. So that's also why like the stories are connected. And yes, I guess that's what wanted to come through. I am a little almost surprised at myself that I didn't get much more emotional about this, sharing this. But it has been a while and I'm great right now and I'm okay and everything is okay. But yeah, it was just time to share this story. And again, I do not want to point fingers. I do not want to blame anyone. I do not want to do any of that. I don't feel like a victim. I feel fine. Everything is okay. And yeah, it was time for me to share this. I guess it looks like it because I'm doing it. And I just want to reach out if any of you resonate with this or have been in a similar situation. To also honor yourself, because as I realized during this video, I just realized it has been much easier for me to have compassion towards others than towards myself. And that meant that I was not honoring myself. And it's almost like I was honoring the people who were hurting me more than I was honoring my own pain and where I was. So, yes, this is actually, I see how this is also actually connected with the video that I just shared earlier today, which has nothing to do with this, but I also see the connections. And also a mirror towards what's happening in the world. I want to be compassionate towards everyone, and I can see and feel everyone else's perspectives, but there's something in me that's also awakening, which is, but I don't need to allow others to hurt me or to make me wear a mask or make me be confined in my home, you know? That's not really making any sense for me. I am not here to be a martyr, so I don't resonate. I have for a long time, but in this moment, with all that's happening with the freaking with the freaking vaccines and everything. Just, I don't resonate with being Jesus, that allows himself to be this. I'm aware that the Bible is a metaphor, but I'm talking about has it literally. I do not resonate in this moment fully with allowing my body, my physical body, to be hurt, violated, or killed by the ignorance or pain of others. Yeah, so it's like, yes, I am sweet and I am compassionate and I am understanding, but that doesn't mean that I will allow others to control me, to manipulate me, or to hurt me in any way. There's a balance of sovereign truth. And that's what I've been unraveling. That's what I have been unraveling. Yes, and I feel like the gem that I am finding and receiving from making this video is that I just shared 2 or 3 times. Finding and feeling that compassion towards myself, towards where I am, towards how I am, all the perspectives that I see, all the visions that I have, and having compassion towards where I've been and where I am, how I perceive things, and how I move and act in this world. My truth is love, but that doesn't need to mean that I allow people to hurt me or to hurt others in front of me. So I'm finding that balance, I'm finding that truth, I'm finding that gem. You know? For example, it's seeing the perspective of these alien beings and governments and policemen and all of these people and beings who hurt others and steal other people's energies. I have naturally compassion for them, and I can see their point of perspective. And I have compassion. It's just naturally occurring within me. But that doesn't mean that I will stand silent and still while they hurt others in front of me or try to hurt myself, try to hurt me. My love is not consent for violence. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And it's very tricky. So imagine like a police officer or someone trying to hit you. Would I hit them back? I don't know. I've thought about that many times because my truth is like, no, of course not. But then there's this part of me that is like, fuck it all, I'm not going to accept more shit. I'm not going to allow kids to be violated and trafficked and all of these things. And what the fuck am I supposed to do? And how can I help others? Blah, 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 na, na, na. So yes, it's funny because actually this was connected to the video that I just made earlier today. So if you haven't watched that one, it's completely different message from this one, but yeah, you can watch that. Because this that I just shared in this video are like examples of stories that I went through and how I reacted and responded and acted during those situations, and what I've learned from that, and how would I act this time? How am I going to act if certain things try to happen again? So, like, a few weeks ago, I was at the beach and there was a family at the beach too. And then I saw the family running, and I was like, okay. They started running in a very weird way. Like, they were literally running away from something, not running away for fun. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna continue chilling. And I was bleeding, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna be chilling here. I need the sun. I need to be with the ocean and everything. And we have been confined for like ever. And we couldn't go to the beach, which for me just doesn't make any sense. So I was there, and like a truck of policemen came, and they were like, what are you doing here? You can't be here. And I was like, oh, hi, good afternoon. I'm just resting and in the sun. And I was super like chilled and like almost falling asleep, and I was bleeding, super sensitive and feminine. And they were like, you can't be here, and resting is at home. You cannot rest at the beach. I was like, and I was like, what the fuck are you saying? That sentence makes no fucking sense. What the fuck do you mean resting is at home? You can only rest at home. Like, dude, you rest when your body is tired and you rest. What the fuck? So at that time, I was afraid for my own physical well being, so I left. I allowed someone to control me, and I left. And the whole time while I was leaving, I started like shaking. My body started shaking because I was fucking afraid. There were like 4 or 5 policemen there, and I was like, me just chilling there, and they were like, "Grr." And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. And the whole way home, I was shaking, and I had this piercing, um, pain in my brain like I've never felt before. It was super fucking weird. And I don't have headaches, so that was very, very weird. And that happened, and that made me think a lot and reflect a lot. And that's when I actually started studying law. That was what everything is so connected, you guys, because after the live that I made today, I also posted something about law, and I'm sharing, and all the dots are connecting because everything is connected. So I started studying law, and after I started studying, I think like I studied like the very first document. I read like 9 pages of the first document about law. And the day after I started reading, I was with my dog at the beach, and this was the first day, I think, or the second. I think it was the first day of, what do you call it? Non confinement. I don't know the name. Non confinement. It was the first day that people could actually be at the beach and go out and be. So I was at the beach with my dog, where we always go to the same beach, me and my dog. We always go to the same beach for years. And I was doing some Qigong dancing yoga flow. And I could feel like, oh my God, I could feel like my own fear, like, oh my God, I think I'm shining a little bit too much. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm shining very bright, and that might get some not so nice attentions. So all of a sudden there is this policeman, like he was like my age or a little bit older, and like he came to me like very serious and very like authoritative, like, you cannot be with the dog at the beach. And I just looked at him and I was like, what the fuck? And then he was like very upset because I was wearing headphones, and he told me he had called me many times and that I didn't listen. And I was like, oh my god, his ego is already offended, so let me breathe. Oh, okay. And then he was like, oh, you cannot be at the beach with a dog. And I was like, I am here with my dog all the time. And there are dogs here all the time, everywhere, every day. And then he also said, oh, you cannot, I also don't know the name in English. You cannot stay here for a prolonged period of time. You need to be moving. And like, meanwhile, there were like so many people just sitting reading books. And I felt like, dude, I was just shining a little too bright for them, and they just caught me and were, let's go bother her. And so I had this very interesting, challenging conversation with this policeman, which he said, you cannot be with the dog here, she needs to be on a leash. That's the first thing he told me. So I put the dog on a leash, which I don't like to do. And then like he comes back with another policeman and he says, I told you cannot be with the dog at the beach. And I said, no, you told me that I needed to put her on a leash, so she is on a leash, na. And he was like very upset, so we talked a little bit more. And do you resonate when like you're trying to talk with someone, but they are like, your level of consciousness is so different from theirs that whatever you try to say, they will not fucking get it. And I was very aware of that. So I tried my best to use words that he could possibly understand, but it just wasn't working. And he was very offended that I used the words like common sense and consciousness and all of these things. He was very offended and he got very triggered, and like, he was like, oh my god, I could feel like his ego like triggered that I was not doing what he told me to do. And he's so used to, because he's wearing a blue uniform, that he says something to people and people just do it. And I was like, no thank you. And he was like, what the fuck? And he was getting very upset. And then they asked me for if they could see the chip in my dog. And I was like, and they got this weird electronic thing, and I was like, I don't know what that is, I don't want that near my dog. And they were like, so scandalous that I denied something. So they were very upset, and they called two other policemen, and these two policemen were like another type of police, and they were like more serious and had more things in their pockets and more strong and all of these things. And they asked me for my ID, and they told me that I had to have my ID when I leave my house, and that I had, if you're with your dog, you have to always be carrying her documents. And I was like, what the actual fuck of illusion am I living in? Why did I attract this? And how the fuck do I get myself out? So they're saying, you have to do this, you have to do it. And I was like, I don't have to fucking do anything, dude. What the fuck are you saying? Of course, I didn't say this, but I thought to myself, what the fuck are these people saying? That I have to have my dog's documents every time I go out? Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm just chilling at the beach. It's the first day of non-confinement. Like, are you fucking crazy? Again, I was just thinking this. I didn't say it. So, because I was learning about law, I will share this more in depth, all the things that I'm learning in another video. But because I had learned a few things. I learned that first, every time your name is all caps, that's not you as a living being. That's a fictitious person, an artificial person, or a corporation. So I told him, because he insisted, what is your full name and what is your date of birth? And I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I've been reading. Let me see if I can apply it. And I was like, you can call me Madalena, but I don't have my ID with me, and my name is Madalena, and I do not wish to tell you my birthday or the name that is written on my ID, because I'm not a fictitious person. And I was super calm and super like, let me just see if this really works, because I just read literally 9 pages about it the day before. So let me see if this works. And they were so fucking triggered, like so triggered, like, how dare you not following my orders? I'm wearing this blue uniform. And I was like, dude, I'm just chilling at the beach for the first time in months. Like, what the fuck? And so they told me, oh, you are doing all of these things, and because of that, if you don't give us your ID, then we're gonna take other measurements. And they implied that they would take me to the police station and would kind of trespass me and like put the things on me and take me to the police station. And that's when I got a little bit nervous, and I was like, dragons, come on, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck? What an illusion. What the fuck am I supposed to do? And so they called someone. They were like, oh, no. They called someone. I don't know if they really did call someone, but he was like, oh, if you're not going to give us your identification, then we have to take other measurements. And he was like super dramatic and took off his phone and called someone. And then I went to grab my shoes and my bag. And as soon as I moved, the 4 policemen were like, where are you going? Where are you going? You cannot go. You cannot go. You have to stay here. And I was like, dude, all thinking in my mind, dude, you need to fucking chill. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? I'm so sorry, but you're fucking crazy, dude. You're fucking crazy. There's something really wrong with your consciousness. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And I was like, I thought this, and I said, I'm just gonna grab my things, okay? And they were like super nervous, like, is she gonna run away? What? So crazy. So I went to grab my things, and then the policeman who called, whoever he called, was like, this time we're gonna let you go. Like he was doing me a favor. But the thing is, when you learn about law, you understand that everything they did was illegal, unlawful. They didn't have any jurisdiction over me. I spoke my truth. Everything was okay. You will learn these things, as maybe you already know these things. But I'm going to share more and more about this in the future. And he was like, oh, this time we're going to let you go. But the next time that you don't provide your ID, you're going to be arrested. And I was like, baby, that's not going to happen. Just no. No. And so I left, and they left, and they started talking to themselves a lot. And I just left like, what the fuck just happened? Like, how corrupt and crazy is this illusion that I am always at that beach with my dog? There are always dogs in that beach. And at one time, because one policeman was triggered, probably because he saw me like being super beautiful and shining and doing yoga and all of these things, and he felt, let me go, that. what a crazy experience. So that made me dive even deeper into law and like, could they really have arrested me? The answer is no. They cannot lawfully arrest me. No. Secondly, because I affirmed that I am not a fictitious person, I am a living being. Again, they have no jurisdiction over me. So there are all of these things when you learn that you understand that they are acting illegally. So they are telling you that they are following the law. Oh, I'm just following orders. I'm just following orders. That's what they always say, and that's what they said to me like 1,000 times. And and once you learn all of these things, you realize that they are acting illegally. And so you can just stand your truth and stand your ground and learn a few more things to know if it escalates, how you can then act and respond to it. So this was a fucking weird video, you guys. This was a fucking weird video. This was a lot of things mixed in one thing, and it was completely different from everything I've ever shared, but at the same time, it is connected with the two things that I shared today. It's completely different, but at the same time, completely connected. Outside authorities, which are fake. The only authority is yourself, is your consciousness. Fake outside authorities, control, physical control, mind control, violence, not standing up for ourselves, not standing up for our truth. All of these topics are integrated within the message of this video. And every time I record a video and I come on live, I afterwards have immense different perspectives about myself and about what I just shared. And I have a lot of insights and other perspectives. So I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna have intense insights after this video. So without further ado, I love you, and life on earth is pretty crazy. It's fucking epic. It's the most beautiful dream and the most crazy nightmare. And I don't know, just if you watch this whole video, I just want to say thank you and I love you. And I hope that if you have watched this the whole time, that it gave you something, that it assisted you in any way and always.